Nerd Talks.
Welcome back to Nerd Talks. I am your host, DK, and I'm here today with Ashton. And today we are taking a look at the nostalgia loop. Everywhere we look, past is basically back. We're always seeing things that are being rebooted, remastered, recycled. I can't think off the top of my head what does I say. The reboot, the remaster, the reboot, the remaster, and there's something else that we're always seeing. Are we a reboot, remaster, and I can't think of the other one that I usually say. But there's something about it. I think people in general are kind of obsessed with nostalgia. It's not only comforting, but it's also profitable.
Yeah, sometimes.
So this week, we're going to talk about the nostalgia loop, how it looks in movies, comics, gaming, collecting, and the culture itself. So let's dive right in. First, I'm just gonna let's talk about what the nostalgia loop is. The nostalgia loop is basically growing up with something, becoming an adult, having the ability to spend money to be able to get that thing, and then the company is kind of pushing that back out towards us 10, 15 years later. Yeah, and they've been doing this for a long time. It's become more, I don't want to say childish, but it's more poppy, it's more nerdy than it used to be. So it's more, for sure, it's more prevalent that we see it. We're able to see it, I think, a lot more now. As before, it was like, for maybe our parents or their parents, where it would be like, they're remaking something that was in black and white and they make it in color, and this could have been like in the 70s or 80s, they did Aliens in the, in the 90s or whatever. And then they start redoing them in the early 2000s, that's
Terminator.
That's a little or Terminator,
Added some.
and these are something that our parents would have grown up with, in their, obviously those aren't child properties, but as a young adult, or a teenager, and then as an adult they see it again, and for us it's more, again, it's more nerdy than that, although the two properties that I named are pretty nerdy.
But that's like, I don't want to say old school nerdy, but like kind of more like the original
science fiction.
Yeah, more like more along the lines of the original, like nerd movies, groups.
But now we see, Pokemon has recirculated, Star Wars coming back around, things like that, what we're seeing. And I have a bunch of these that we can, that we can go into. We see it in comics where they've relaunched. I want to spend a lot of time on comics because I could go on forever, but one that is kind of out there now is Secret Wars. In the 80s, they did a Secret Wars, and then they did a Secret Wars 2 shortly after that. And then in 2015, they did another Secret Wars.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's the same kind of storyline, but we're redoing it, and we've done this with the Dark Phoenix as well. That's another popular storyline from comics where they just redone it again, and they do it again and again. We do this for movies, and sometimes it's a sequel, sometimes it's a reboot, but the sequels are often like a legacy sequel, they'll say, right? So it's not a direct sequel. For instance, the Scream movies came out, and we just got the new, Jenna Ortega one, whatever, like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever. And we just had the third of the, the reboot.
Yeah.
And they are sequels technically because everything that's happened in the other movies is still canon to their universe. But we're kind of rebooting it. We've done this with The Matrix. We have a new Matrix. I actually haven't even seen this.
I'm gonna be honest with you, didn't even know that.
There was a fourth Matrix.
Yeah.
So there was the original 3 that came out in the early 2000s.
Seen all of them.
99 in the early 2000s, and then I don't know, maybe 2018, 2019, 2020, something like that. 22 between 2018 and 22. There was
2021.
Okay, there it is.
The Matrix Resurrection. Yeah, I did hear about this.
Yeah, so it's kind of a reboot, legacy sequel, as far as I know. You know, everything that's happened before still counts, but you know, we're moving on.
So it has NBH in it,
and then also just straight up reboots. You know, Spider-Man has gotten recycled multiple times, and Batman as well. And some of these are industry issues where they run into problems with the directors, and sometimes it's not an issue, but just like Nolan finished his story. Yeah, we need a new story, you know. But it's just like
being late to a meeting by a few minutes.
But it's like we could have gotten a different hero or a different movie in its place. Gaming has this. We remaster the games after they come out. Oblivion got a remaster not too long ago.
I was just playing that actually before I left.
Oh, there you go. You know,
that's a fantastic example of a remaster. And then we get to
it's
Rockstar remastering. What did they do with 3 San Andreas and Vice City?
Yep.
Those were not great. Those were not received well.
Well, but they are still remasters, right?
Unfortunately,
and that's the idea, right? So yeah, you know, we kind of see this recycle of the same things that we've been getting. We see it with movies a lot. You know, we even have like Toy Story right now, in which didn't get, you know, a reboot. It more got a legacy sequel starting with 4, and now we have 5 coming up. You know, and I think Toy Story itself is a really big indication of like the look at nostalgia, because the movies came out in the early 90s and then kind of progressed in the 2000s, and we got 3, which theoretically should have ended, and we should have just
Thank you. I was just sitting here thinking, I was like, that should have just ended it. Ended with Andy giving spoilers, ending with Andy giving the toys to the little girl, and gone at the dead.
Yeah. And then it kind of continued on, and then that's when
4 was all right. Then
it wasn't bad.
I think I liked 4 mainly because they brought Bo Peep back.
I think 5 actually looks good. And I'm actually excited to see 5.
Yeah, I'll watch 5. I don't know. I mean, of course, obviously, like everything that people, you know, new things from their childhood, people are dogging on it because it isn't needed. Which I'm gonna agree, it isn't needed, but we'll see. We'll see how well it does. It's probably gonna do just as well.
What else? I mean, there's so many things. Dungeons and Dragons, Pokemon has kind of had a resurgence. You know, there's always Pokemon fans, and it's the largest media property in the world. But there was a low point. It's kind of swung back up since COVID. Same with Dungeons and Dragons, where it swung back up, where it was, you know, generally popular. You know, like there was Dungeons and Dragons movies in the 90s and early 2000s. And then crickets for years. And then it got popular enough again that they could actually produce another movie, which was
fantastic.
Yeah,
I can't wait for the next one. Hopefully they're making a next one.
Theoretically they do. I don't know. Hasbro has a really big issue with like nailing down being able to accomplish a product for some reason when they have so much money. It's kind of ridiculous.
And that's another thing that people... I just seen earlier that people talk about with like new movies, new games, and how like sometimes we sit here and watch them and play them, and we're like, this is just lacking. It's just like it shouldn't be lacking because it's multi-billion-dollar companies, multi-millions, hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah,
you can't even.
I don't want to go off on a big tangent, but Marvel does this with video games.
Yeah, Disney does it with their TV shows
all the time.
Or just there's the Star Wars property in general.
Yeah.
It's off and on. Good, bad.
But yeah, so really we come to the point as, you know, is nostalgia something that's happening naturally? Or is it something, you know, that's just manufactured by the companies? So
I'd what both.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is obviously we like something, you know, but is it like, did you like it for a while and then you re-liked it again? So Pokemon's a good example of this because Pokemon's been around the whole time and it never kind of went away. It just kind of had a low point where it was like, you know, was it always like that? Or did Pokemon manufacture that nostalgia? You know, and I think, like I said, I think Pokemon's a good example of this.
yeah, I don't. I mean, yeah. Again, I'm gonna stick with I think it's a mix of both. I think it's, like you said, COVID came around. I wouldn't say they manufactured it, but they definitely banked on COVID.
For sure.
And then they're gonna take that nostalgia of people that played Pokemon as kids.
Sure.
So then they're going to maybe somewhat manufacture it by releasing a new game or re-releasing one of the older ones. Going back to
Which of them?
whatever, Red and Green. Those are separate games. Red,
Yeah,
Pokemon Red,
Fire Red.
Fire Red, Leaf Green. That's what it is.
Yep. They just released
Yeah.
it this year. Yep.
And yeah, COVID being the big thing that's really helped amp up a lot of people's nostalgia for sure, because now they had nothing to do. You can't leave. You couldn't go to work. You couldn't go out to eat. You couldn't hang out with friends because everything was so strict and controlled that then people started looking into things they could do at home, like Pokemon, Magic, watching TV is. So then maybe they took some kind of metrics from what people watched then, and then to what maybe that age group, if they were between the ages of, say, 9 to 14 then, when they were into it, you jump forward 10, 20 years, now they're going to be like, okay, this is this metric, now that they're, 20 to 30 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
Are they more now still interested? Are they reading it, watching it, looking into it? So, yeah, they're definitely banking on that part of nostalgia.
And I think some of it is, some of both, in both ways, like you were saying. I think it comes from property to property too, where some of the properties where it's like, it's a real nostalgia, that circles you back into it. And then I think some of it is, the company, forcing a remaster.
Yeah.
Or,
I feel like
or a
that's
redo.
what Ubisoft is doing right now.
For which game?
For Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
The last few, in my opinion, haven't been that great. They didn't receive that well of reviews from what I've seen either. So now they're like,
Did
okay,
you play the last one?
Mirage. That was the most recent one that I know of. It's the one that's in... I don't know where the hell it is, honestly.
The one that's in Japan? The Mirage came out?
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. I wouldn't say too much unless you play that one, because I think that one did
Okay.
some.
But then we'll go back to... I didn't care for Valhalla.
I haven't even played it. I wasn't really interested.
Mirage was okay, and then they started leaning real into powers. Like, I know that they're supposed to have, like, pieces of Eden, but I don't think he has a piece of Eden, from what I recall. But there's, like, a lot of, like, time stop, crap.
Oh, I don't think that's in... I can't think of the one that's in Japan. I could think of the name of the character, but I can't think of it.
So maybe see later. So then I feel like now they're just going back to... Because they remastered 3, which came before Black Flag. And they also remastered Rogue, which came after Black Flag.
Yeah.
So now I feel like now they might also feel a little pressured to do it.
Do Black Flag?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's... Outside of 2 and Ezio, I'd say that's the staple
Black Flag? Yeah.
of Assassin's Creed. I might even put it over Ezio. Not saying I prefer it, but I feel like it's more of a staple.
I think legacy players would say that the Ezio games are the best games, and
For sure.
they're like the best storyline.
For sure.
But I think Black Flag was what allowed a lot of people to
Yeah,
have come
that's why I'm
into-
saying it's the staple. It's what, you say Assassin's Creed, people might be like, oh, Black Flag? You say Assassin's Creed 4, nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, what's that one? It's Black Flag. But I personally, I don't like that they're taking out the out of the Animus portion of it.
Okay, fair enough.
That's
I don't
been-
want to get too far off topic.
That's been well, yeah, but I'm
Assassin's
like,
Creed game.
I'm pushing like all the other ones, like 1. I loved 1. That had you doing a lot of 1, 2, and 3 had you doing a lot of stuff outside the Animus. And I really liked that stuff. But then they went into 4 and they changed it, but I still enjoyed it. But I feel like that's kind of taking part of the nostalgia out of it. I feel like it's just me because I see a lot of people are actually liking that fact. But
Yeah, I guess it depends on your play style, but I mean, as far as Assassin's Creed goes and in Ubisoft doing that I feel like that is more of a manufactured by them, is like they're trying to push it. Whereas something like Pokemon, it felt more natural, and then Pokemon
if Pokemon manufactured it, it was gradual. It wasn't just straight.
Right, but by the nostalgia loops definition, Assassin's Creed can't really fit into it without it being manufactured the way that Pokemon did it naturally, because by terms of the nostalgia loop, right? So Pokemon came out in 98 in America, and at that point, anyone who was maybe, we'll say, 6 to 12 is interested in that IP, right? And then people kind of shift in as the time progresses, right? And then there's a point where you become a teenager and you kind of lose interest in kind of play things, and then you come into a young adult in which you either have college or you're trying to work and kind of trying to build a life, and then you come into your mid-20s going into your 30s, and then that's when the things kind of come back up. And I think that's where a lot of people are at right now, between 25 to 35, and they're looking at Pokemon and they're like, okay, well, now I can afford the thing that I wanted to have before. And I think Pokemon also just happened to kind of ride the wave of the pandemic, and it also just pushed in nicely. And now that everyone is that age group, Pokemon's blowing up.
And that's kind of what I was getting at before is, they're younger then, so that maybe they're, they kind of keep track of it then. Not like actually keep track, but they're like, okay, well, it's been almost 30 years
For Pokemon
being in America.
It's the 30th anniversary this year. Yeah. Sorry, sorry. Okay, that's for Japan. It existed in Japan in '96.
So it's 30 this year.
Yeah.
But okay. So it was only 2 years it took for it to get here. That's not bad.
Yeah. Go back and if you haven't watched the Pokemon episode, just go back and watch. We do a dive on history. It's crazy. Like, it's crazy.
Okay.
Because they launch everything at one time. It's on like video game first, and then card game, and then TV show.
Oh,
it's like everything in 1 year gets launched all at one time.
Oh wow,
it was weird. Okay. Yeah.
But so then they're like, okay, well now all these younger people that we knew played it, I'll just say interacted with the IP back then.
Yep.
It's now old enough to be able to afford the IP themselves, like you were saying. Is now we can afford this stuff. So now we feel that we want to go back into it. We want to get included. We want to join back it. I've even been thinking about getting back into Pokemon, honestly.
It's pretty good. The card game is fantastic. The video games are pretty good. Yeah, no complaints for me. But why does it work? Why does the nostalgia work? And I think we just kind of hit on it, where it's a lot of the money, but then it's also there's some psychology to it, where it's feeling like you're back in your childhood.
Yeah,
that youthfulness, but also just kind of this comfortability. Going back to something you know. I could probably recite 100 of the 151 Pokemon. I could probably do a good chunk of them in order. Probably lose me in the center a little bit. I might be able to get all 151 Pokemon.
I got this friend, dude. My friend Philip. All I got to do is show him a picture of a Pokemon. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, that's that one," and he'll be like, "Oh, it came out in this giant," and I'm just like, "Dude, like what
a nerd!"
Yeah, what a nerd. I bet Mason could do that too.
Yeah,
I guarantee Mason could do that.
Yeah.
This guy, you describe a magic card to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, you talking about this card or this other
one? Or you mispronounce it, or you say it differently, like Nick and Logan do a lot. And he's like, "Did you mean this card?" Without even looking it up or anything. That dude's wild. I give him props to that.
For sure. So what's your favorite childhood franchise?
I don't know.
Yeah. It's a tough question.
Damn.
I'll let you sit on it, but for me, it's either gonna be Pokemon or Dungeons and Dragons. Those hit home for me. Probably Dungeons and Dragons. I would say probably to pick up the other two.
'Cause I'm thinking about like back when we still lived on Columbus.
Yeah, theoretically, that's when you were
Yeah.
so yes.
I don't think there was really anything like that. I don't think I was like invested in stuff like that.
This guy's not a true nerd. Another one for me would also be
Jurassic Park.
Power Rangers would also be another one for me. Jurassic Park's a pretty good one. Jurassic Park's good.
I remember watching those movies repetitively.
Yeah, I'm over it.
To the point where mom and my father got me a 3-disc set of all the movies. Yeah, and I'd probably say, probably Jurassic Park. Assassin's Creed is one of them.
Do you remember the first game console that you played on?
Yeah. The Nintendo 64.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And it's the first one I played on. I think it was that one. I played a lot of that one because we had the N64 and Janelle had the GameCube.
Sure.
So we'd play a lot of each other's games.
There you go.
That was good.
I had the SNES.
Really? Interesting. I didn't know that. I didn't have one.
Yep. I had that for a little bit. I had a couple of games. I mostly just played Street Fighter 2.
Okay.
Hell yeah, getting it. But everything has a cost, and everything is about the profit. So, you can talk about the business side of nostalgia. You know, there's a couple of franchises that are banking basically on our nostalgia in order to sell their products. Big ones are Batman,
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man. These are the two IPs that get rebooted and resold and pushed the most. Even though for DC it was supposed to be Superman, somehow Batman ended up being the guy.
Batman's cooler. I don't know. If something isn't as cool as a guy that you know is supposed to be the most overpowerful being on the planet.
Yeah.
And you just sit there and it's like this guy loses? Like, I don't... You're not supposed to lose, dude. Like, you get fucking laser eyes.
Both of them are dog shit characters. I don't like either one of them.
I just like Batman because he's kind of cool.
I mean, like, Batman's okay. Dog shit's probably oversimplification, but in general,
We've already had our discussion about Batman already.
I would not put them in my top, like, probably 10. I might put Batman in my top, like, 20 or 25.
Yeah.
Superman's doesn't make my top
care for
100.
Superman that much.
Yeah, I don't know if he
really
makes
care
top 100. I could probably think of one.
Like, I'll go watch the movie. That was
sure.
a great movie.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
I'll go watch Supergirl probably at some point.
Yeah. Although Mr.
I really
Terrific
like that.
and then Superman went.
Dude, that dude was savage. That guy needs his own movie.
Hell yeah, Mr. Terrific is on it. Hell yeah. I was like, holy shit. It's about time we get this dude.
Love the acting. Well, we technically got him before.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that was terrible. From what I remember. I didn't see all this.
It was okay.
But yeah, I mean,
Does not compare.
Yeah. Other big ones, Transformers is actually another big nostalgia one.
That one's probably one to say that it was from my childhood a lot. So like Transformers.
That was good, but they did the 3 and then they kind of did the re-sequel.
Yeah, they had the 3 with Shia LaBeouf. Those are great.
And then we did the re-sequel with
We had Mark Wahlberg. I couldn't tell you. Never seen him.
And you know what we did after we did the 3P re-sequel with Mark Wahlberg?
You get Bumblebees.
We re-sequeled it again. But there's another one after that. No, not just Bumblebee.
What?
There's another Transformers. There's Bumblebee and Transformers 1.
Oh, that's right. They just released some dinosaur one. Like last year or something like that.
That was a few years ago. But do it.
I don't pay attention to Transformers.
You're not paying attention on the timeline of what year it is. We're in 2025 right now. Just so we're clear, Kendrick versus Drake was 2 years ago.
Was good. Oh yeah, it was. What was that movie even called?
I don't even remember. I didn't see it, but I know it has the guy from Ironheart.
No, wait, it's not Age of Extinction.
Is that from last year?
Age of Extinction is from 12 years ago.
No, it's not Age of Extinction. I think that's a Mark Wahlberg one, is it not? Maybe I am thinking of Bumblebee.
The Bumblebee was just recently.
Maybe I am thinking of Bumblebee. I thought there was 70 movies plus Bumblebee.
Bumblebee came out in 2018.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, it is most recent Transformers movie.
Transformers 1. Came out 2 years ago.
What? Most recent Transformers. Why is A till it...
Was
Wiki Film Series. Here we go. Just... Rise of the Beasts was in 2023.
okay, boom.
That's what I was thinking of.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's been a couple...
it is the seventh film. It is the seventh film.
3 years since that?
Yeah.
I could have sworn it just...
Bumblebee was before that.
Yeah, that's been almost 10 years since that. Yeah, this movie is older than I thought.
Yeah. So, like I was saying, we cycle these movies. We're cycling it again, and now we got Transformers 1, which just came out like last year or 2 years ago. I think it came out 2 years ago.
3 years ago.
Transformers 1 came out in 2023. No, Transformers 1, buddy.
Transformers 1?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a thing.
Right there,
Transformers 4?
Thank you.
Oh, that's right. This is the animated one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 24.
So we're just getting in this repeat of recycle, reboot, the requel, if you will.
Yeah.
Is essentially just a sequel that's
Origin story of Optimus and Megatron.
yeah. Well, yeah, and in this instance, it's not a reboot or a sequel. It's a prequel, which in the same is in from a money making standpoint is trying to do the same thing.
For sure.
And then Star Wars also does this. And we just had The Mandalorian and Grogu, which I did not see in theaters. I kind of wanted to, but then I heard pretty bad reviews about it. So now
What did I else heard?
I'm not
Any new Star Wars movies, I think I'm just going to wait 6 months to a year.
I want to see that. I'll see the next one, Starfighter. I'll go see that in theaters. I'm just not a big fan of Grogu. I'm just not.
That's fair. I thought they should have just left his ass sleep and
Yeah, I don't need to see
make
this
him
one.
the next
Jedi
Grandmaster.
I don't. Yeah, well, they could have just did like another TV show where it's just like Luke and getting new students. Kind of the
Yeah,
lead,
because they show us
the lead up to the Force Awakens.
building his little hut thing. Yeah.
Yeah, give us the lead up to the Force Awakens where Grogu is there.
Yeah.
Like where Luke is building. Obviously we can't do Luke because they don't want to sit there with a deep fake dude, the whole entire show. But
That's true.
yeah, that's kind of the problem in that situation. But just recast him. I don't know. Just give us whatever. Dude. We're talking about a movie from something like almost 60 years ago. Yeah. Literally 50 years ago. Talking about a 50-year-old movie that we're worried about recasting.
Let us
someone
get
for.
him in his 35 to 45 range. 'Cause then you can have him look like whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want.
let's get someone
Someone who looks somewhat similar. Get some prosthetics.
Yeah.
You got all these aliens. You ain't got no extra prosthetics lying around. Just get to it. Or just don't involve Luke at all.
That's true.
Keep him as a background thing.
Well, my point was that we had the Mandalorian and Grogu. I didn't like Grogu, so I just wanted him off there so that we could have a Mandalorian movie. But the point is that they are trying to recycle these things. We got a baby Yoda, right? That's the recycle here, right? Because we had Yoda and everyone loves Yoda.
Yeah.
And
Got our new age Boba Fett and our new age Yoda.
Right. Everyone likes the Mandalorians. Let's bring that back. These are the things that they're hitting on.
Let's take a movie. You know what? No, I was going to say, let's take a movie and let's throw it in the past. We tried that with a show and nobody liked it.
Yeah, I loved it. It's quite about my favorite.
So we just need to go way back.
Well, the next movie is going to be totally irrelevant to anything.
Unrelated? Perfect.
Starfighter, Ryan Gosling, and I think someone else.
Ryan Gosling. Here we go.
Yeah, pretty sure it's Ryan Gosling.
Let me get some Blade Runner vibes.
Yeah, I'm into it. I like Ryan Gosling as an actor, as a person, as far as I've seen.
Let me get some Blade Runner vibes, and I've never seen the movie.
Blade Runner's pretty good. But yeah, I think everyone's doing it. I think Dungeons and Dragons hit on it. They tried to hit with the movie. Stranger Things was just a nostalgia fest for people from like the 80s. And not that I'm from the 80s, but I can imagine you watching it being and growing up in the 80s, and it's just like every couple of moments, there's Dungeons and Dragons, the product placements, and just like the vibes that were going on. So if we think it's smart business, obviously, is it lazy? That's the big question.
Yes,
You think it's lazy?
absolutely.
Yeah.
If it had been maybe a different company and maybe a different
Well, just in general.
genre.
I mean, obviously from company to company, we can make our own decisions. For Shimon, I don't think it's lazy. I think they just happen to kind of actually get into the period of nostalgia.
They're taking advantage of it successfully.
Sure.
I don't think,
But they're also
Disney's
selling-
taking advantage,
Right.
Successfully.
Well, and they're selling a product too, and that's the difference here. And we can't say Disney overall because there is a strategy that Disney might be doing here.
But you get Star Wars then. Star Wars hasn't been doing that great for the last almost 10 years now, unfortunately. We've had ups and downs, but I feel like in the eyes of majority, a lot of the stuff that they've put out, people haven't cared for.
I think some of it is lazy, but I think Grogu's lazy. I think the Mandalorian and Grogu are lazy. I think to come up with an idea that's just a pivot off of things that people already like. People like baby things. People like Yoda. People like Boba Fett. And like the Mandalorians. We shouldn't just say Boba Fett, but they like the Mandalorians as an idea, as a concept, and what they look like.
For sure.
So you put all of those things together in one show, and you got it. Smart?
Yes. Season 1,
Lazy?
I would say, went fantastic for that.
Yeah.
Season 2, a little okay. Then it was just dropped off for anything Mandalorian related there.
Yeah.
I liked Boba Fett, but like it wasn't Boba Fett.
They made some weird creative decisions for sure.
Damn moped kids.
Yeah.
That was does. We have a little group of cybernetic freaks. Fine.
But
Why do they need to be riding around in dumb looking little moped?
I'll never get over.
And then the little
Spin?
tour.
I'll
It's like,
never get
dude,
over-
you're dead.
I'll never get over the spin. I'll never get over the spin.
Unnecessary.
Get over the spin. Never get over the spin.
I don't think you get over the spin.
Yeah, I think some of it is lazy, and when, but the thing is right now we're looking through the lens of like the movies, right? But there's like other things about it, right? You're selling the toys, right? We're selling, how many Star Wars props do I got over there?
I'll say the toys are lazy too. Instead of what they've been doing is instead of maybe creating new stuff, they're just regurgitating the
We
same.
never had the helmets before.
That's fine. We've had a Millennium Falcon. We don't need a Dark Falcon.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
We don't.
And I think we could pick apart any company like this
For sure.
And Disney has
I'll say when it comes to being lazy, it definitely depends
yeah.
on the company,
I think-
what they're doing,
I think there's a
how
lot-
well they're doing.
I think there's a lot of companies that just do it lazy and smart for business. I think there's very few companies that are doing it smart for business, not lazy.
Because like Disney,
I think they're doing it a lot.
they're doing super lazy with Star Wars. Then we go to Marvel.
Yeah.
They're doing fantastic.
Yeah, not so lazy.
They're
Well,
doing great.
You also have to look at parks for anything Disney related.
Okay.
That's their driving force for money.
That's fair. That's true.
That's the biggest money making force.
That's true. I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. It's like not even.
What's
Like-
what is it? Disney World, Disney Land,
Disney World.
Disney World tickets.
And then it's like create your own lightsaber, create your own droid, and it's like they can go on and on with that kind of.
I just want to see what's a base ticket price. How can I find a base ticket?
It's like $200 for a day. $150 to $200 depending on the day.
That's crazy.
It's actually not that bad, honestly.
Will it show me 4-day park, 4-day ticket? 4-day park magic ticket starting at $109 per day plus tax.
That's not bad. If you live there, that's nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly.
For sure. This includes Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios.
That's fantastic. was pretty good.
for
That's
rough price of $436.
That's one park a day. All day, you get to be there.
Yeah.
Another good thing, I could go on. We might have to have a Disney World show, and we can just talk about. I'll just regurgitate a bunch of information.
Yeah,
about
for
Disney
sure.
World. But one thing about Disney World, right, is so it's still on the nostalgia topic, because Disney World is basically just nostalgia world, and basically all they're doing is taking any movie that you liked, and then they're just making a land of it and then making it big.
They only offer these tickets from the May 26th to September 26th.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it's kind of a low point for them. Is in the summer actually. There's a lot of people going, but
Well, I suppose it's
hot as
warm.
fuck.
Yeah, so in the winter, all of us people.
yeah, well, there's a lot of people that'll go, and then like the holidays, Halloween and Christmas are the two biggest times of year.
I'd love to go to Disney on Halloween. I don't even care about the rides. I just want to experience Halloween at Disney.
Yeah, it'd be super crazy.
It's not bad. Like you said,
Yeah, well, yeah, and the money. So the money about Disney World isn't that crazy, because you're paying we'll say $150 to get in the ticket for the day. It's $600 for your family to get in. You can honestly bring in anything you want. You can bring in any food or water. So if you're really trying to cut some costs here, you don't have to buy anything in the park. There's no expenses in the park that you have to pay for, because you can bring in your own water. There's free water bottle refills, and then you can bring in your own food.
hey, that's not bad.
You bring in a stroller, you pack it full of food, and then
For about $80 more, you can get access to the water park.
if you get a hotel and you check in, the day you check in, you get free water park passes, just for the day you check in.
Okay, that's not bad.
Disney World is fantastic. It's the best place. I was there. I was just like, I could live here. This is fantastic.
Just kick the kids to the side.
Yeah, well, in like Disney World,
Oh, I'm sure.
babysitting services, dog kennel services.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Like Disney World is actually its own
Babysitting service. This is crazy.
It's its own city, honestly.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Like
Yeah.
Buena Vista is literally the
Yeah.
name of the city, and it's basically just all.
Well, just imagine all the underground tunnels they have and everything.
Yeah.
Behind the
But anyway,
scenes.
back to nostalgia. Disney
That is a place banking on manufactured nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
They created the Star Wars land after they got Star Wars, and then they set it up with the build your own lightsaber, build your own droid, and then it's just like everything in the shop is just like
droid.
Buy it yourself, get it yourself. Get your Buzz Lightyear in the Buzz Lightyear accurate packaging.
Actually, Michael, he got a flight suit from there, from Disney World.
Yeah, you can get costumes. Yeah, you can, especially for Star Wars. You can get costumes. I don't know if
Rebel flight suit. Let me be specific.
but then even like Harry Potter does the same thing.
Yeah.
We didn't even touch on Harry Potter, 'cause
Yeah.
that's also a wild nostalgia piece, right? We're cycling back to that again.
I love Harry Potter.
Yeah, exactly. And they have the same thing though, just at Universal Studios, where it's like you can get the costumes, you can go to the
Can you
World pubs.
get your own? I know you can get your own wand.
Yeah.
Will it match your wand on
Every
whatever it is?
so
Whatever Pottermore.
So Pottermore, right, is the website where you go and you take the test to see what your wand
It's
does. You
not
see
called
what your
Pottermore.
yeah, it's just called the Wizarding World. You test to see what your Patronus is and all that stuff, and see what your wand is in your house, right? Obviously the most important. So, to be honest, and to break the reality of the Wizarding World, tests is that there's only a limited number of wand types.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like 15 or 16 wand types or whatever.
Okay.
Everyone's associated with one of those wands
Yeah.
when you take the test. They have all of those variations.
Well, I will also say,
at the stores, which we were asking. Right?
I mean, realistically as well, even like in the Wizard World, I know Ollivander's got all these hundreds of wands. If you actually look into like the wands, there's not much variation. You get 3 different core types. You get the typical length is between like 9 to 14 inches for a wand, and then there's a handful of woods. So 15 is not bad.
Yeah.
You can compare lengths and
But just another piece of nostalgia, right, is like I seen the movies as a kid and went to Ollivanders, so I went to Ollivanders in real life, which I actually did do that. And you know, I pick out my own one from the test that I took on the internet, because this is all nostalgia driven.
Yeah.
Everything about that is
For
just
sure.
the nostalgia is just hitting me in the face. And is it lazy? I don't think that's lazy. I think that's smart business. You know?
Yeah.
I think that's all just like nailing it down.
I think going out of your way, because I don't think they originally made the site. I think it was made by someone else. Then just like D&D Beyond, they go out and bought it from them.
Oh, Potter movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think putting the effort and time into having made those tests, having
Yeah.
made that site. I feel
Originally,
like-
it was just your house.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then they went and bought it, and they added the wands, the Patronus, wands, Patronus, house. I want to say there's one more.
Juan's Patronus house, and yeah, there is one more. Juan's Patronus house. Your
Familiar.
it's not your familiar. Yes, it is.
Owls, frogs, cats, rats. Trust.
Okay.
I thought it was super weird because I feel like the whole familiar thing is that you pick your familiar, not it gives you the familiar.
Yeah, okay, you're good. I'm still got my.
But I feel like
No, it's in. It's just history. Good. Shit. House, Patronus, wand, and then you can make your own portrait. Can I have it right now?
nah.
Yeah, well, looking at it right now. But yeah, I think they are hard hitting. I think all these companies are doing a good job, at least at suckering us in at the least, but otherwise endearingly keeping us interested at the most. You know, and I feel like Harry Potter is one of those where at least it feels heartwarming that they want us to come and visit their world and everything. At this point, we'll see about the HBO show and see how much of it is actually lazy, or if they're going to try to really build something here that feels important. But let's
Interesting. Then it's one of those tests they talk about. Familiars. I thought it was maybe. Guess it is just a test.
we already kind of hit on gaming. I have gaming here as our next topic, but we kind of already hit on it. You know,
That's nice for that bit. Just add.
the remakes.
There are definitely things that they could remake and redo that I would love to
great games.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and of course, right? We could always do that, but we could also just call them something. Toast them up.
I don't know, man. You're telling me you wouldn't love to play remastered Army of 2?
I would like them to come up with a sequel or something similar to Army of Two.
Android system.
Yeah, but see, we've already done this. So and there's
I get it.
there's upsides
I-
and there's fails, right? So we get a remaster of Oblivion, and it's fantastic, right? It looks great. We playing the game. It feels good to play the game again, right? Right. And then we get something like whatever, the Left 4 Dead remake thing that they
What is
did.
it? Back for Blood?
Yeah, Back for Blood.
That was that great.
Fucking terrible. Yeah,
It was trash.
it's just like, and this is
Never
the
played
problem.
the World War Z game, though. That's a great game.
And this is the problem with the nostalgia, right? Is like
They were really banking on the nostalgia.
they were really banking on the nostalgia that people were going to play this game, and a bunch of people did play the game. I played the game. But also, if it was just like, why didn't you just literally just make a fucking sequel? You could have called it Back for Blood. Just make it the same fucking game, though. Why'd you have to change it once?
Yeah.
Why'd you have to change it?
Yeah.
once? Just-
I don't want to be sitting here and trying to build up this little, I don't even know what the hell, little town they have, little fortress. I don't want to sit there and put resources into it. I don't want to have to do all that. I want Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead. Not. They basically made a Walking Dead game. That's what it is. With more guns. They just made a Left 4 Dead game. Walking Dead game. Not even Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. Well, and then we have the infamous Skyrim. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but Skyrim's been
We don't need to talk about that. We can just move on. We're already going to see that in the next consoles.
Yeah. Comics is another thing that gets rebooted. I won't spend a lot of time on comics because you're not as familiar with them, but comics does a lot where they reboot things. They bring characters back constantly. And I don't know if it's as much as nostalgia, but I do think it is a way for them to make money. You know, people will fall in love with the character. Maybe it is partially nostalgia. I haven't been in comics enough to really see it build. You know, but seeing a character that you really love and then they die, and then they have to like reboot them or bring them back somehow, usually in world somehow, or some kind of universe-ending event that resets everything. Secret Wars, you know, in order to kind of reset things that, you know, previously were gone, or New 52 from DC, where they bring back characters that had died previously to bring them back.
Brontosaurus pen. We haven't used Brontosaurus pen. Yeah, we've had good luck with that.
Let's just end, though, you know, on a positive note. Let's talk about sometimes that nostalgia works. When it really hits, you know. I think anything that will drive you to, and I think Star Wars and Harry Potter do this the biggest, drive you to those locations, give you a chance to be part of their world, is going to drive you so far. You know, there's the droid creating, and that's pretty good, but I don't think there's anything like creating your own lightsaber for a Star Wars nerd. I think that's pretty peak.
Yeah.
You know, going into, you know, in
physical lightsaber.
yeah, well, getting the physical object and also being in the physical world, you know.
Yeah. All the actors.
For Star Wars, it was, you know, this kind of just like random planet that they made up. That's that location, but everything was in world, you know. Even the garbage cans are in world. They were selling Coke, like Coca-Cola, in in the back of a speeder that was sitting there, and then it comes in a bottle. And the bottle is in what's the language? The Star Wars language.
Oh, the written language?
Yeah.
Arbesh?
Yeah, like the whole bottle is in Arbesh. The whole bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's actually translatable.
Yeah. Which is probably why they're able to do that.
Oh,
legally.
Yeah.
Because you have to have the nutrition text on it or whatever. Yeah. And then the locations and the actors, you know, the people being in world, you know, obviously there's some people
Let's say Star Wars got me a couple weeks ago. I tried this fucking tape, keeping this table. I tried that blue milk.
Where did you try to?
It's at the store, dog. Comes in a half-gallon bottle.
I don't know if it's the same. I had blue milk when I was there, and green milk actually. I
tried green milk. Blue milk, made by True Moo. Half-gallon container. Admire.
What kind of milk was it?
Made vanilla. What it was made with? Ooh.
What kind of milk it was made with?
Good question.
That's a big difference here.
What should it be made with?
I believe it's rice milk.
Probably not. Come on now. Does not say.
It's interesting. Have to do research in that. But that, and then
vanilla low-fat milk with other natural flavors.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's just regular milk with vanilla flavoring, and then
is it rice milk because that's what they had to use on set during the original movie because it was too damn hot outside?
Yeah, I don't know, but you know, I was there, so I count that as the canon.
That's fair.
That's canon milk, you know. I also went to Harry Potter World, and that was cool because you get to go to Hogsmeade, and it has all the Hogsmeade locations.
Did you try butterbeer?
I did not try butterbeer. I had
butterscotch.
I had the Hogshead amber or something like that. Whatever the Hogshead beer was.
Something like that.
Yeah. But all the locations that are in the movie, you can go. They had the candy shop that you see in the third movie that Harry Potter walks up into, like a
Hogshead Brew.
Hogshead Brew? Okay. That's what I have. I have the Hogshead mug. You've seen probably Hogshead mug.
Oh, yep. Downstairs. Yep. That's it.
That's why I got that instead of the butter beer, because you got the Hogshead mug.
Fair.
Yeah. I definitely.
You couldn't do it with that mug, but you did a Cheers 10 years ago.
I wanted to get the butterbeer, but then I realized you could get the mug. I went into the candy shop, and then they have an Ollivanders there, which I don't know if is actually a canon thing that there's multiple Ollivander shops, but I wasn't going to scoff at it. And then from Hogsmeade, you can see the Hogwarts castle in the background, and they have it scaled so it looks like it's an appropriate. Yeah, it's just turning into just me going to amusement parks at this point. But this is all nostalgia, right? Yeah. So I'm there because I'm nostalgic for this stuff, right? And they have a Diagon Alley I didn't go there that you can ride the Hogwarts Express over to, and then you can also take. There's a way to get over to the Ministry of Magic. There's a full Ministry of Magic building.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's the newest place. That just came out last year.
That's wild.
Yeah, that's brand new. All in all, for me to say that it worked. It suckered me in, whether you call it suckering or a good business for them. I felt the draw, the compel to go to these locations, and
that's why I said before, Disney is manufacturing nostalgia.
Yeah, I think Disney.
All they are banking on is nostalgia.
Yeah, the remakes that they're making, a lot like the live actions are a lot of just like nostalgia. Obviously we're getting a remake of Moana already, and I think that's that's nostalgia. I think that is us being lazy because we can't come up with something. But I think like the other ones, like they did the Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast, and I think those are, those aren't for me.
It's gonna live action. Put it a frog dog.
That I would love to watch that, but and that would hit for me because I watched that with my oldest when that movie came out. So that kind of cycle of nostalgia is right there, right? And I think those are kind of smarter business decisions for, I would say a young woman, but at this point they're a full-grown woman, or and if you are into Beauty and the Beast, but it was obviously targeted for young girls to watch the cartoon version
for sure.
And then bringing that back. Not only did we bring back the live action, we used an actress or actor that is going to also affiliate with that age group, and that was I can't think of her real name, Hermione Granger.
Emma
Watson is actually.
She is.
She's Belle.
She is Belle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So combine a character that these kids grew up with, or an actor that these kids grew up with also
Harry Potter, and then combining it with a movie that they also grew up with.
Boom! And you're just exploding, right? And you just keep doing this, and then what do? We're gonna recreate the Lion King. Who should Simba be voice acted by? I don't know. Who's good right now? Childish Gambino.
There.
Yeah, that's all they're doing right now. Is they're just like giving you someone who you recognize, in our age group, in the age group that would have watched it originally, and then remake the movie. Yeah, it's just a manufacturer of nostalgia. Not manufacturing nostalgia. Manufacturing. Nostalgia.
Yeah,
not the same. But I think it's working, and I have listed here also like Top Gun came back. These aren't obviously like super nerd properties, but these are things that people are hitting for nostalgia. Top Gun,
the second one,
Cobra Kai.
Using the original actors.
We've done Karate Kid a couple of times now, where we did the original Karate Kids, and then we had Karate Kid with Jaden and Jackie Chan. And then now we had Cobra Kai, and now we have another Karate Kid, which is bringing back everyone. And it's their No Way Home. I call it a No Way Home because they just bring in everyone from every version of the franchise. Well, there is, but it's in the original. It's in the original.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's 3 or 4 original Karate Kid movies.
4 is the one I was thinking of because that's the one I've never seen because that's with the girl.
Yeah, it's a different kid, but it's within the same same cycle. It's not a reboot.
It's with the same Mr. Miyagi.
It's It's just a different.
Won't get him though.
Well, he passed, but they have Ralph Macchio, which is the original kid.
Yeah,
he's in both Cobra Kai and he's in the new Karate Kid.
Is that this Legends one?
And then and Jackie Chan is also in that one. So it's Ralph.
It already came out, by the way.
Yeah. Ralph Macchio, and then it's Jackie Chan teaching this new kid.
I've seen this kid before too. What have I seen him in?
Yeah, I also felt like I saw him when I seen the previews for the movie, but I wasn't too sure. But yeah, I think it works. I think when you push it and it's something like Batman, it kind of gets a bad taste in our mouth. I think we're upset with Star Wars just because of the directions they've taken, but Mandalorian and Grogu is not the direction they should have taken. And I think they are banking on nostalgia for Star Wars.
For sure.
Yeah. Overall, what do you think? Nostalgia, manufactured or not, good or bad? I think right now, the nostalgia loop is something I was describing as something, that happens
in a loop right now.
Over our time. But I think there is a constant loop, and that's what it's been for almost the last, 20 years, where it's a lot of nostalgia loop. And I think over the last 5 years, I would say since the pandemic, it's basically just been nonstop.
Yeah. So I'll even say, like, going back to Star Wars, they got Rogue One. That tells the story of how they got the plans. That literally leads to Episode 1.
Yeah.
Or 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
Solo tells the story of Solo.
Again, yeah, hitting nostalgia.
Yeah, so then they just product this.
I don't think Rogue One was necessarily a nostalgia piece. I think that was a storytelling device that they were using because they didn't promote it and you didn't know that you were walking into a nostalgia piece. Solo is clearly a cash grab nostalgia because we're trying to retell a story about a character.
Hey man, you got Woody Harrelson in it.
Yeah, also try to...
Can't. Kinda hard to beat that, man.
Kinda hard to beat it.
And you... Spoilers, if you haven't seen this movie, that's probably almost 10 years old now. You see Maul at the end, too?
Yep. All right. So I do want to wrap up our episode here. Let's. I'm gonna give you a few questions about something that you see that's original now that you think they're going to reboot later. We'll start with a movie franchise. A movie franchise that is, we'll say that's new within the last 5 to 10 years, and maybe it has a couple of movies that you think they're going to reboot and say, or remaster within, let's say, 10 years.
I couldn't tell you a movie that is original, that is becoming some kind of trilogy.
Sure.
I don't think I could.
It doesn't have to be a trilogy.
Well, just anything.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. I can't think of any kind of movie that I've seen or heard of that hasn't already been redone or, use an original idea.
Yeah, I guess I don't have one necessarily for movies either. And one thing that I am thinking is the Conjuring movies.
Those are probably.
I think we'll get a redo of those.
Whether it's some kind of show or movie.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be, the same company that's handling it, but the same theory.
Or they'll bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh, somehow this. Even though it was technically aren't those based on real events.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. They're going to take those real events and we're going to do it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not necessarily that company is going to redo those movies, but that idea around that. That's why it was kind of cheating because it's not really a franchise. It's more like an event that happened. I think we're going to get some we didn't even talk about the X-Men from Marvel. I don't want to talk about it because I want to end that episode. But that's X-Men from Marvel coming back is wild nostalgia crazy.
Dune, we just got Dune recently. That was a banker on nostalgia too. And I don't remember that did too great.
Dune is doing pretty good. We got a third one, should be the final one, I think, of their series. Will that be done?
Is it doing it good though? You can do movies and
it's huge.
Okay. I just heard other things that it's these movies weren't that great, but
every time they have bigger and bigger names put in these movies, it's huge.
You know what I want to see done? I want to see a reboot Starship Troopers.
There is a new Star Troopers coming out. We can look it up after the show, but I'm almost guaranteed. That's fantastic. Video game that you think would get rebooted, remastered, resequeled, or whatever. That's not already a huge franchise, something that's been building in the last 5 to 10 years, I would say.
Fallout.
No, I don't say Fallout, because that's the oldest shit.
Exactly.
I don't think, yeah, but it's just continuing on. It's not, I don't think I mean, we're already getting remasters for that. We already know.
I guess, but I don't know.
I don't know. I was thinking something like Fortnite, where we'll get a reboot of our Fortnite. We'll shelf it all and restart it. Can we just have a different game that just did that?
Overwatch.
Overwatch just Yep. I think that's what we're gonna get. Is we're gonna get a reslate of Fortnite, and then it'll be like Fortnite Legacy. We'll have that Fortnite, and then they'll have the new Fortnite. And it'll be two separate.
Believe it or not, they kind of already do.
All right.
Within Fortnite, they have you can
Go back
Fortnite OG, and you can play the original maps. They already beat you to it. You can't claim rights on it now.
I don't want to. I mean, well, actually, I'll take that back. If you want to give me rights, I'll take some. I don't like the property. I don't like the game, but I'll take the money. I'm not shy about that.
Let's see. Let's look at some games maybe I've been playing.
I think we play a lot of legacy games. A lot of games that we don't play. A lot of games that are like one-offs.
That's true. I'm looking at literally all the
Elden
games.
Ring.
I got Oblivion. I have Daisy. I don't think that will go anywhere. Rainbow Six Siege.
No.
They already did that. They changed it to
Yeah.
Rainbow Six Siege X or Rainbow X. Or,
Yeah.
Oh, they did with Call of Duty. Elden Ring.
I think that'll be the game we get in like 5 to 10 years. That's like a reboot or like a remaster or like a
I don't know.
redo.
Oh, maybe.
That game is huge, man.
Yeah,
because we don't like it.
I know, but I don't. Maybe they might do an Elden Ring 2, some kind, but it won't be. I don't think it'll be a remaster, or reboot.
I mean,
in my
that's the same thing.
oh,
I do think they will do a remaster.
probably,
Yeah,
probably.
not this console, but the console after. We're getting a reboot. We're getting a remaster.
Maybe even 2 consoles.
Like not the next one, but the one after. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, not the one we're currently on. Not the next one.
Yeah, okay, the one after.
Yeah. That's the one we'll get a remaster. Be like, Elden Ring is back. Remember this from 10 years ago?
Let's see. Take a look at my list here. Maybe other things that we can do.
Sure. I'd like to wrap up here. Apex. We're pushing time here. Apex might get a legacy, but I don't know about that. We've already. Apex itself is a legacy thing. Is already a fucking.
Let's show it's coming off Titanfall.
Yeah. Yeah. Hit your ass. Gotcha.
Well, and that kind of jumps back to my point before about when you asked about the movies. It's like there's nothing much original. anymore.
It's hard to make original. It's
there.
Apex and Titanfall are a little different. Are obviously different, but yeah, it is there as far as coming back. But I don't think it's bad that we do nostalgia. It's about remembering things that
The Outer Worlds in the next 10 years.
that'll be maybe.
Oh,
The second one fell off hard on popularity.
That's why I'm thinking the first one would get a remaster.
Maybe.
Because from what I've seen, I loved both the games. I didn't beat the first one. I'm there,
I mean,
but I'm running around doing a bunch of extra garbage. I'm not to finish.
okay. I'm gonna wrap up here. Yeah, they're good games, and like I said, I don't think nostalgia is a bad thing. I think when companies are digging into it, I think it can be okay.
It can be done right, and it can be done wrong.
And I think in moderation is a big thing too.
Yeah. I don't want to get pumped out a bunch of extra.
Just on repeat and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think nostalgia is okay. I'm okay with the nostalgia loop.
I am too.
It's great to especially see companies and things that I love still around.
Yeah. I
That
love
much
seeing
later, where I can spend the money on just.
I love seeing when it comes to nostalgia when like they take something old. They have an old game, they make a new game, does it completely differently, and then they make a new game after that that goes back to the old game. I like seeing that.
Yeah.
I like seeing that.
Yeah.
Some kind of sequel that uses original game mechanics.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's what Assassin's Creed did. Mirage was kind of like take you back to the same kind of type of deal with the first type of game, but then made the next one after that even better.
Okay, I didn't care for Mirage. I didn't think
I'm not saying it's a good game. I'm just saying that's what they did.
from when they. What was the first one out of all of those when they changed how they played? Odyssey,
Origins.
Origins.
Yeah.
I didn't play Origins,
Origins was fantastic.
but I didn't like.
I want to
Odyssey.
wrap it up. Just make it a But yeah, we'll end there. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Put in the comments, a franchise that you're really nostalgic about. Whether you could say Marvel, the whole of Marvel or Star Wars, or nail down on something specific. In that being like Skywalker Saga or Spider-Man or Batman or something like that. Let us know. I know Harry Potter is probably a big one for people between our age group.
For sure.
That just hits. I think for a lot of people were really just interested in that because it wasn't too far out there, but it was, fantasy enough. But drop it in the comments, and thanks for hanging out with us, and have a good game.